What is up, Moon Man and Moon Woman? How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Monday, the week has started. The market has been somewhat hot today, which is unexpected. Let's start off by saying that I actually took the day off today. I said, I don't expect the market doing much today. We only had SoFi's earnings. We do have SMCI later on after hours. Tuesday is a little bit more busy after hours with the large cap. Thursday after hours is a little bit more busy with the large cap. We also have FOMC on Wednesday, so I figured, you know what, let's take a nice little extra long weekend for myself, or a long weekend for myself, and kind of just sleep in a little bit. So I did that, but did not expect the market to kind of take out the previous day's high, which was Friday's high, and bring in some random volume spike at the end of the day, right? Nice little volume ramp at the end of the day for the market, taking it for I think S&P 500 ended about 0.7. QQQ pretty much almost 1%. I think IWM also about 1% or so. So shout out to the market over there, bringing in a little bit of a boost to the north side today. But the question is obviously what happens tomorrow. Lucas from Mongolia is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Lucas, our Mongolian viewer. He's not Mongolian. But new haircut. That's right, baby. We finally got a new haircut. I was tired of wearing hats on the stream. My hair was a little messed up for me to not have the hat on the stream, so I had to. But now we got the haircut going, we can finally look good, feel good, and start trading even better. So obviously that's the goal over here. Talk about all the opportunities for tomorrow, see where the markets could go to, see what opportunities show up, especially with the earnings plays. We still got a lot of earnings on board. A couple other news plays on the watch list too. So something like iRobot canceling their deal, or should I say Amazon and iRobot basically canceling the deal completely at this point. So iRobot most likely is a good opportunity again tomorrow. Couple stocks that already announced earnings, such as WDC and SoFi. We'll take a look at that. SoFi basically announced earnings today pre-market, and they moved around quite a bit. And a lot of stocks that announced earnings today after hours or tomorrow pre-market. So we'll talk about all of the watch lists over here and see what type of opportunities we can find tomorrow to be involved in, and make that sweet grub, baby. Make that money so then we can go spend it on stupid games like Pal World. Have you heard of that game, guys? Have you heard of Pal World? If you play Pal World, let me know if you play it in chat. I would love to know if you guys play it. What do you guys think about that game? Are you having fun? Are you not having fun? Do you think it's like Pokemon, not like Pokemon? Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that game if you're playing it. If not, no worries. We'll just kind of move on and straight on go into the market over here. Prad, currently I'm logging shop with the breaking $83. Any thoughts? Well, Shopify was not on my watch list at all, but I guess we could start off by quickly taking a look at Shopify because I don't really intend to trade it tomorrow. It's not on the watch list, but if it does look interesting for a day trade, then maybe we could put it on the watch list over here. Okay, Shopify kind of rallied later on in the day when the market took off, I guess. Did take out the 83 area intraday. Let's see how significant of a level 83 is. Right there, that's the 83.30 area. So I guess closing above 83.30 is also pretty bullish. This is the 52-week high at the moment. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. There looks to be good support right around this $80 area. So I guess you're giving somewhere up to 30 about $3-4 of risk, $5 of risk maybe if you're swing trading it. Doesn't look like a bad trade at all, but the volume is going down and the stock is still managing to break out. So that's surprising enough. I guess people are still looking for stocks to rally up, especially some of these stocks that have been beat down quite a bit. I think if I remember correctly, Shopify is a Canadian company, so obviously I'm pretty happy every time a Canadian company starts making some sort of a recovery to the back to the north side, and Shopify seems to be in that basket. If you ask my opinion as to how to trade it, I cannot tell you that, because that's just a financial advisor thing, and I'm not exactly that person. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm seeing as a perspective for a day trade. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a day trade opportunity over here, but I would like volume to kind of increase on Shopify. But Shopify is in a nice little breakout over here. If it does break out tomorrow and pull back and kind of show me support in front of 83 or even 83.50, there could be some opportunities over for us to make some money. So why don't I actually put it into my watch list real quick, insert one level below. Oopsie, insert one level below. Come on, there we go. We'll put Shopify. Support, I'm kind of looking at the $83 areas for support, and then I don't really have any resistances. I'll put infliction as 83, and then I'll put importance for Shopify as blue. So now that you mentioned Shopify around this nice little area, and I'm sure a lot of stocks kind of look around this area, we could find a million stocks. I'm just not going to go through all of them. This looks pretty good though. I will add it to the watch list. So thank you, CDP. But let's go back to our start of the watch list, something that we had already planned out for us today, which is iRobot. iRobot previously came to the downside because the news already started hitting the wires, or I guess the rumors were coming out that the deal might fall apart. Then Amazon and iRobot said we're going to try and make it happen, but then now basically Amazon and iRobot saying, yeah, we're not going to go through with this. So nice little downside move, about 10% or more, triggering the SSR mechanic and the stock pumping right back into the previous 52-week low, I guess you could say. Right, so pumping right back into the previous 52-week low area. Tomorrow the stock will also be on SSR, so it will be a little bit harder to short the stock. But if there is another opportunity to short the stock back near $16 area, which looks like a little bit of a resistance, all the way up to maybe even $16.50, this is the anchor VWAP after our news when the EU was blocking the Amazon deal. I'm pretty sure if we put another anchor VWAP from today, when that news basically hit the wires. So that one should look a little bit more bullish because the stock did bounce off the pre-market drop and so on, but I'm still looking for selling all the way from the previous anchor VWAPs. The first day of volume down move, I guess that one's not really that important, but this is the first day of the down move since the volume started. This one is the first down move without any volume, kind of like people knew what was happening, I guess, and then the news wire started hitting. That was the day that the news wire actually hit the stock, and that's when you see the volume kind of ramping. Again, a nice little volume ramp today when the actual news gets confirmed. So interested to see what iRobot looks like tomorrow. Today's low was around $14, $13.80. I got scared. I thought I'd even unmute my mic for a second. No, we're good. 1380 is today's low. That's basically the 52-week low. Today's high was 1625, right into that 16 area, 1625. I guess you can go 16 to 1625 as a resistance, and you can go for infliction also, that $16 area, or maybe even 15, depends on where the stock opens in pre-market. But basically you want to see the stock under 14 tomorrow. We don't know what the ATR is for iRobot. I forgot to do that part of my homework for my watch list, so we're gonna have to do it while we're looking at stocks at the moment. So iRobot over here for the support, basically looking at what happens around today's low, so $13.80 to $14. See if it can find another support area. And iRobot's ATR is, where is my Finviz? Finviz, where are you? You're not Finviz, you're Finviz. We'll move you over here, that way we can control 1 and control 2. IRBT 2.24. Wow, okay. ATR of $2.24 on the stock. Next stock we have up is WDC, so let's quickly look up for that one. 1.70 ATR. And now we can go talk about WDC. The reason why I like WDC, even though it announced its earnings report recently, and after announcing its earnings report, it kind of just dumped down a little bit. Later on, kind of started rallying right back up after dumping down. This is kind of the exact same move that Seagate, which is what the WDC does too, did on the same day of its earnings report. Dumped down off the report, but later on managed to keep rising up to the north side. But WDC over here today, I think got some upgrades, if I remember correctly. Oh, I actually do have some notes for iRobot and for WDC. No, don't refresh. I had that part highlighted. Oh man. Okay, anyways, I know exactly where it is. So here we go. iRobot, the consumer technology firm, plunged 18% after regulatory obstacles killed the planned acquisition from Amazon, originally valued at 1.7 billion. iRobot announced that it would lay off about 31% of its employees, or around 350 workers. And the CEO would step down effective immediately. So they're basically trying to do whatever they can to save their company at this point, because clearly the deal for them to get bought out is not going through. That's the overall idea for iRobot. The next stock that we were talking about, Western Digital, let's find that one's article, was right over here. So ever since its earnings report came out, it's been gaining 2.6% so far. Bain Capital, never really heard of that one before, is restarting discussions to facilitate a merger between WDC and a Japanese-based. Wow, okay. They're basically thinking about making WDC go private, or merging WDC with another Japan-based memory maker of some sort. So WDC over here could possibly use that as a catalyst to kind of take out this 52-week high. You do have to remember the stock right off the open is very choppy. It's not really very liquid right off the open, but I kind of like this level that we're at right off the earnings day. We got to that $60.55 today off of I guess it's not really off today's catalyst, but we are right back into that $60 and $6.50 area. And I think tomorrow, if this kind of news gets more into the news wires and people are buying up the hype behind the stock, we will kind of see the stock above the 650 area, or even be able to take the breakout through 60-50 area. So I want to be involved in that trade opportunity if the stock can show up for us. So I'm putting that stock resistance at 60.50, and the support basically around, oh, I put too many fives and too many zeros. Fact click the numbers. Basically putting a support around today's low. The stock's ATR is $1.70, so basically around the whole range over here, even though the whole range is about $1.50. You kind of get the idea. It's $1.50, $1.70, right around this area over here. We're looking for the breakout to the north side, or the earnings day low, or even yesterday's low, which is exactly the same candle coming into play, or maybe even somewhere in this range we get a little bit of pullback and some more buying showing up. But at that point, we're not really kind of looking for a long, because we are looking for an action around 60.50, and 60.50 does not show up, then it's kind of not really a trade for me. So that's the point of kind of putting inflection area in my notes. So we're only looking for a trade around $60.50 tomorrow on WDC if it shows up. The next stock was Shopify, and that's thanks to CDP. I think CDP had another comment about how we talked about Shopify. So let me take a look at that. Yeah, I swung today, expecting closing tomorrow. Thanks, Prad. Yeah, I like the idea. The fact that it broke out and closed at the highs, but you could say that about kind of what the QQQs did, the SPYs did, and everything. Something that could make or break this theory is if any of the large cap stocks report negative in the pre-market. Thankfully, none of the large cap tech stocks report in the pre-market tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about it at all. And one of the stocks that we are interested in reported today pre-market, and that one absolutely took off to the north side. So that might help your case out over here in Shopify. Not that they're correlated. We do like the fact that the market brought in extra volume at the end of the day, taking out the high a day from previous high a day, and also taking out today's high a day with a nice little ramp in volume, and the end of the day closing volume was insane. Monster closing volume coming in at the end of the day, at the high of the day, also showing you that there was a lot of buying interest in the end of the market over here. Right before FOMC comes out, there was an interesting image that I had somewhere about where did I read that? Give me a second. I forget his name. It was it Trendspider? Forget if it was Trendspider. Nah, it can't be, right? Nah, it wasn't. It's not gonna take these many scrolls down. No, it wasn't Trendspider. It was like Market Mayhem or something. Market Mayhem? Somebody named Market Mayhem? It was about the FOMC expectations and how many rate cuts. Let's see if that will work. Of course. Of course. Oh, I should have saved it when I saw it, dude. Oh, man. Wait, did I actually save it? I might have. Nope, I didn't save it. Damn it. It was basically showing how the market was already pricing in or expecting, you know, rate cuts starting as soon as May or soon, right? The first interest rate decision coming up Wednesday. We got only 7 more after that. We're expecting 6 rate cuts, so not much time left for them to start cutting rates overall, and we're kind of seeing that getting priced in, I guess, in the market over here. You're seeing the market have still a lot of buyers. You're seeing them having a lot of bulls. It was a nice little image for it, though. I wish I saved the image when I saw it today. Sadly, I don't have it saved, so I guess we'll just kind of move on from that one. Shopify was the next one on our watch list. We kind of talked about it. We're interested to see what happens on the 83 area, if the stock can pull back to 83 or not. One thing I did forget is to put in notes for these stocks, such as WDC. Oh, let's go back to WDC and look at that. The stock did have a little bit of a high after hours on the earnings day, around 61.70, so that could be a little bit interesting, see if the stock can push up there or not. But going back onto the bigger time scale, WDC bullish if stock can get above and hold above 60.50. As for IRBT, bearish if stock can push up and reject 16 area. However, IRBT's importance is a little bit lower than WDC for me, and Shopify is in the same scale as IRBT, sadly. Now let's go to SoFi, a stock that announced earnings report today pre-market, brought in monster volume, the most volume the stock has brought in. The last time we brought in this much amount of volume was 2 years ago, when the stock was trading in the ranges of $14, $15, and so on. So last time we brought in this much amount of volume was a big time ago. SoFi is also finally profitable, the first profitable quarter that they've ever had. So monster move over here for SoFi. This actually allows them to kind of get ready to put into the S&P 500. I think they need 4 profitable quarters, if I'm correct, and then they'll be eligible to get put into the S&P 500 index. So finally, the SoFi is looking for the bag holders like myself and Dieter over there. It's looking a little bit like a little bit of you know, relief, a little bit of a relief coming in, but we still got a lot of areas for SoFi to go play with, especially this triple top. I guess you can talk about it as a double top, but I'm looking at this whole area as a one top and this whole area as a second top around $10. Let's see if $10 area can even come into play for a stock that has an ATR, if I remember correctly, of only 40 cents. So let's go take a look at it. Yeah, 53 cents after today's move, I guess. But around, let's actually go see what yesterday the stock had ATR of, because I did make a watch list. However, I didn't really go to work. Yesterday's ATR was 43 cents. So after today's move, its ATR got bumped up all the way back to, not back to, but all the way up to 53 cents. So nice little boost in ATR after today's candle. But today's volume was also immense, monster volume coming in on SoFi. I don't think this volume dies down big time right away. This is actually a good news for SoFi overall. So we're looking to see what happens on this stock going forward. Keep the volume coming in. The last time a stock like this moved around with a lot of volume in a low price, if I remember correctly, was Palantir, and that was a great opportunity to trade. There was so much volume trading. There was opportunities to actually see big size on the bid, big size on the offer, and kind of front run these areas. So a lot of strategies can be explored and actually applied on the stock. You're also seeing some of the levels come into play. You're seeing how this little area where the green line comes off of actually ends up being today's close, 916. Our line is 919, but 916 is exactly where the stock closed under. It'll be interesting to see if we can kind of push around above this little consolidation high and start holding. It's also around this little consolidation low, and then we can get back above today's high, actually make a move another 2 ATR. Today was already what, 862 to 945. So let's say its ATR yesterday was 40 cents, so basically it did more than 280 ATR of a move on earnings day today. But if we get another 2 ATR move, where today now the ATR is 50 cents, basically 40 cents. Let's say it's good, does another 2 ATR move, which is a dollar move from 916 or so. That's basically into 1016 area from today's close, 1016, 1050 area, which is another good, you know, area to look for shorts, or good possible areas to look for you know, pullbacks and longs back through this area, which I don't think is happening. I'll be honest with you. Depends on how the stock gets into $10 though. If the stock opens in this under today's high, under 945, then looking for a pullback into $9, $920, $9.20, and looking for a bounce back through that area will be an opportunity to look for the stock to go into this nice little double top, triple top, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, into $20. So looking to see how the stock trades at $10 and $10.20 so far in that range. I guess I should say 1020 to 1040. I didn't even look properly. 1020 to 1040. As for supports, we're looking for $9 to $9.20 area coming into play. Inflection is the $9 to $9.20 area, and bias is bullish if I can't even type bullish. Bullish if stock can hold $9. Bullish if stock can get above yesterday's high 920 and show buying above it for a move to $10. So clearly very bullish ATR, very bullish earnings report on SoFi. Sorry, I put the color over here. Let me just quickly show you the watch list. I put the color for it on blue. No, SoFi gets upgraded to the higher tier because it is very, very important as to what's happening with the stock at the moment, and I am very excited. Now, the next stock, which is very exciting, but at the same time very, very scary to trade tomorrow, it will be SMCI. The stock already started making a nice little move before its earnings report came out. We saw that play out. Why are these here? I thought I moved them already. What in the world? Not even earnings, dude. What in the world? I thought I moved these already. I'm tripping. Okay. So SMCI already broke out the all-time high right around this 357 to 358 area. You saw that clean breakout right when they announced the higher guidance of the stock, which was right over here. So announced the higher guidance on the stock, breaking clean through that area. I guess you could even, maybe we do put in that anchor VWAP from here, and we call that bad boy upgraded guidance. Okay, and then this was the previous all-time high. Kind of could delete that. See how it got bought right back up, bought right back up. This is all before earnings. This is all before earnings, right? Bought right back up. Pops, drops, bought right back up. Pops, drops, bought right back up. Beautiful move so far. And now the earnings move comes in, and this is the one that we are more important about at the moment, because this allows the stock to create another new all-time high and just barely tickle that 550 area. That was the high. It made a nice little triple top on the 5-minute and made a nice little push right back into that 550 area. The question is, what does the stock do into 550 tomorrow? We are seeing a little bit of a rejection of 550. Tomorrow's pre-market will be a big answer for this 550 area, if there's still a seller at 550 or a profit taker maybe at 550. Their what was it? Their earnings conference call was pretty bullish actually. So I'm not gonna change my sentiment. This chart is pretty bullish. The sentiment's bullish as fuck. So why would you even think about changing your sentiment and swaying from there? So let's take a look at this little quick little note that earnings whispers have summarized for us from the SMCI's conference call, clearly saying we continue to gain customers during the quarter, but our largest customers made up a big percentage of our revenue. The AI boom will continue for many quarters, if not for years, and we see if not for years and decades of demand. We have a large and growing backlog, and demand currently exceeds supply. There are new technologies coming out rapidly, and our advantage is we are first to market for those technologies, and with our growing capacity we are ready to grow. Okay, and with our growing capacities we are ready to grow. Okay, we are not denying that the quarterly revenue could reach We're not denying that the quarterly revenue could reach up to 5.5 billion in the second half of the year. So basically upgrading their guidance for the second half of the year by saying that statement, that could maybe bring in, we'll pause that, that's the video for later today, basically could bring in more move to the upside. Their revenue is currently 3.6 billion. They're expecting the next quarter revenue to come in 5 billion, even bigger boost over here. Already a 30% beat on this expectation. I think this expectation, however, was not updated after they posted their own update. They said they're gonna post around 3.6. I think this one, however, was not updated. It's still at 2.7. They kind of kept it in line, but we kind of knew what the story is. Now my idea is there a possible sell the news trade? Because the stock kind of announced what they were going to do. They already did it. The stock was getting bought up into that news, and now this is the news event. This is the news event, and it's not really selling the news. You're seeing the stock clearly get bought right back up and actually go tickle that 550 area. I love that even dollar price. This setup over here kind of looks like a breakout of 550 if you ask me. So, and especially if in pre-market we trade below 550, we maybe go test this earnings anchor VWAP again right around 530 or so. We bounce off of that earnings anchor VWAP and then push right back into 550 right before 9 o'clock and kind of break through 550. That would be an amazing opportunity to look for long for. But I'm worried that this will be a false breakout. This will be a false breakout and it will come right back down, and then you will get trapped back. So I'll be watching this stock pretty carefully. Not sure what I really want to do. Pre-market will kind of help me really make my mind up on this position. So right now the only level on mine is that 550 area. Kind of can keep an eye out to see what the stock does into this 530 to see if any support shows up in pre-market. Next stock on board, CLF. This one reported earnings after hours. I almost said pre-market. This one reported earnings after hours. So let's put in the earnings anchored VWAP over here for ourselves. And nice little move to the downside, missing on the earnings report, possibly downgrade also coming into the stock. CLF, Cleveland Cliffs, usually brings in decent amount of volume. Yeah, about 8 million shares brought in on a normal day. On earnings, they do bring in a little bit of extra volume for us to trade, pushing to the downside, clearly breaking a trend that they were in before, and now we're looking for a nice little downside move us to get in. Looks like the downside trend has already been established. You're seeing the crossover on the longer time frame of the 9 and the 21 coming in, but the 50 and the 100 are still showing support because they've yet to cross over. They're basically showing just the 9 and the 21 are showing a shorter term trend down, but the 50 and the 100 are still showing a longer term trend up so far. So a little bit of a battle over here on CLF. There's a good chance that the stock doesn't do anything. It could easily find support into this 17, 50, $18 area. You can see how previously it found a little bit of a resistance in this zone and then got back into it and then broke out. So I wouldn't expect too much from this position unless it really gets under 17 and shows that it's selling under 17 off of this earnings report. Right now in the after hours, we aren't really seeing that. It didn't even push below today's range, right? It didn't even get under today's range off the earnings report. So not really sure what to expect from the stock from tomorrow. Maybe it's a nothing burger, right? It could very easily just be a nothing burger trade. For this one to be interesting, you need to at least see it gap down from yesterday's range, and specifically to the downside because the earnings report is red. If it just gaps down into today's low, holds today's low and pulls back into today's high and trades into today's high and range trades, that's not really fun for me at all. It could be fun for some people, don't get me wrong. You know, people love range trading positions. It's because it's clear defined exit, clear defined entry, and you're just trading the range until the range breaks at either direction. If the range trade is in your direction and the breakout happens in your direction, you hold it for a little bit longer. If the range trade is not in your direction and you're still making money and the breakout happens against your direction, sadly, then you just punch out and you stop trading it and you keep your profits. You just take that one little loss at the end. So people love taking that range trades. I don't have any problem with that. I just don't like doing it myself. So we're going to put this one on a lower priority unless it really breaks out yesterday's range. Its ATR is $0.57, right? So it needs to clearly get under 18, or did I say what, $17? At that point, it might just find some support, honestly. It could easily just probably find some support. CLF doesn't really excite me at the moment. So we're going to walk away from this one and go to the next stock that we have on board, which is F5 Inc. I think this one's I don't have to think. I can just go over here and find out. F5, shares of the cybersecurity company. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Shares of the cybersecurity company jumped more than 7% after the company reported. And these are the numbers over here for those of you interested. We can just go back to our earnings whisper chart and show you the numbers over here that they're up 12.74% and 1.14%. Maybe we can go see what the guidance was on F5. Did they show a higher guidance? Had penciled in. Okay, revenue was down year over year, but net income increased. Okay, that's good, I guess. Nothing about the guidance on the CNBS website, so obviously that's why we call them CNBS. But this stock is pretty close to its all-time high. We got a beautiful resistance area over here on the monthly chart for this stock. Let me just kind of put that line down, also put it on the default colorway because the white lines are only for well, actually I'm gonna do it this way. I like to do it this way. We'll do that, we'll do that, and we'll do that. There we go. So 216 to 217.50. We got a nice little resistance on the monthly chart. The stock has resisted over here from the end of December 2020 all the way till the start of April 2022. So quite a bit of time we kind of traded in this area for the stock for F5. Let's see if we can now, once we're taking out this 52-week high, kind of charging up to the north side. Good earnings reports coming into play. Maybe we can see some action above where we are 185.95 today, but the earnings report could have easily taken us higher, right? Or did the stock earnings report tomorrow? No, they report after hours and they did pop up. Okay, they report today after hours, they did pop up. Wait, I just saw the numbers. How stupid am I? I'm so dumb. My brain's all over the place. You know what that means? Smoke break. 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 Smoke break Took this long, but was risky. But I'm expecting all chips to beat. I mean, you saw SMCI beat. People are eating, baby. Eat, eat, eat. But F5, what is the level that we had marked out? I mean, that's pretty damn close, right? That's pretty damn close. If for any chance the stock pushes into this 216, 217, 50 area, I'm interested to see if we can get a nice little short on this stock. So let me quickly put down this resistance on the stock. However, you're seeing the after hour top show up right at 211.17 or so. I think the stock could easily go to that 215 unless it goes to that 215. I don't really think, or 216, sorry. I don't think I'll really be making a decision. So 216 to 216, it says 41, I'll say 50. It's always a range, it's not like an exact number. Sometimes it does end up being an exact number, and we love hitting this nice little animation that I made myself. That's right, if you want an animation made for yourself, holla at your boy TraderPrad. I got you. It's gonna cost you some dollars though. But coming back to the market over here, as for the support, I mean, I don't really know as to what area to expect support. The stock didn't really show too much trading in the after hours. A nice little pre-market, nice little volume up candle on the after hours, but after that nothing really happened later on. So now we're waiting for pre-market to kind of show us a little bit of action, maybe some support, looking for 200, which is a good psychological even dollar number. Buying above 200 after this boost up to the north side, taking out the 52-week high would be amazing. But if the stock is not showing buying above 200, then are we really going all the way back to 190 and 184 at that point? I mean, is this move even valid to the north side? All those questions come into play, and I'll be wondering what the buyers who bought in the after hours are doing when the stock is not even holding, what, 198, let's say, right? If the stock is not holding 198, what are the buyers who bought in this area thinking about? They're probably closing for a loss. The stock is probably plummeting all the way back to the downside. So at that point, I could just wait for these lower areas. But in my opinion, I want to see that 200 hold. Let's go check out what this stock's ATR is. FFIV 2.51, not bad. But what is its daily volume again? Yeah, look at that. Daily volume, or average daily volume, is only 400,000. It did bring in 1 million shares today. Maybe it does bring in a little bit more volume tomorrow, but if it doesn't bring in volume with the stock this pricey, even a stock that's trading at 200 now, it could be a little illiquid. It could be really spready, and you could get hurt really quickly on the stock. So be very careful on this one. I would urge people to be very, very careful, please. The next few stocks I guess we have over here, we don't really have to show them on the charts honestly, but I guess we'll kind of run through them over here, talk about, because I don't really think showing or charting these stocks when they announce in the pre-market has any value. They usually jump up or down past our levels, and I have to kind of remake my levels in pre-market anyway, so I'll just leave it to there. But we'll kind of talk about what stocks these are. These are Pfizer, GM, UPS, JetBlue, whose deal has been falling through completely with the Frontier and so on. That deal's falling through like the iRobot deal, but they are announcing earnings tomorrow, so maybe that can kind of save them in their stock valuation, bring them a little bit of a boost to the upside. MPC is also on the watch list. Corning Glassware, for those of you interested with that company. I'm pretty interested with Corning Glassware. You know, they usually make screens for iPhones and Google, if I remember correctly. Actually, who makes the Google screens? I thought it was Corning, was it not? Yeah, I thought so. There you go. Apple. did too, but I guess not. But most smartphones, I remember Samsung, I remember Google, or maybe Google hasn't done it before, but now they're starting to. With Gorilla Glass Victus. Yeah, they're kind of even promoting it with that. Yeah, Google Pixel with Gorilla Glass Victus. This is on the Corning website though. Maybe it's they are adding it and selling it themselves. This is not by default Corning and Google working together. I guess that's what it is. But either way, I remember, Corning, Gorilla Glassware being all the hype back in the day. So I'm pretty interested to see how that stock moves around. Most of these stocks report, or all of these stocks report earnings pre-market. So that means they also have conference calls pre-market or during the day, which all suck when they have conference calls during the day. I've done the research for you guys, so you don't have to. So let me quickly run through all of them for you and what times do they have conference calls. The first one tomorrow, Cleveland Cliffs to begin with, even though they've announced their earnings report already. Their conference call tomorrow is at 8:30 a.m. Pfizer, who has a earnings report pre-market, their conference call is at 10 a.m. So be careful around 10 a.m. There could maybe be an extension to their moves, or to either side where you could get caught off guard, or maybe the move that the stock was on off the earnings report could get nullified off the conference call. So you want to be very careful on Pfizer over there exactly around 10 o'clock or so. Pfizer's ATR, which I haven't done the research on, 0.62 cents. Maybe it does a little bit more than that tomorrow, but we have to just wait and find out where the levels come into play tomorrow in pre-market. The next stock on board, as you guys can kind of already get a hint of it, is GM, General Motors, with an ATR of 83 cents. This stock is coming out with an earnings report pre-market, has beautiful ranges, wonderful ranges for us to trade between. I mean, I'm expecting a nice little move right back into this range high or even above for us to play with, or right around this area, and a nice little range in this area for us to play with based on the stock's ATR. Also, the stock's conference call tomorrow pre-market is at 8:30, so usually this should be done by 9:30. Don't really expect them to go past 9:30, so GM should be some fun trade for tomorrow. So we're gonna upgrade GM to a high priority trade based on how this stock moves around in pre-market. It could get downgraded. We'll just have to wait and see for that one. UPS, this one's conference call is also at 8:30, same like GM. Unlike Pfizer, whose GM is lazy, GM meaning general manager, but maybe I should say CEO. Their Pfizer CEO is lazy and they want to do their conference call at 10 a.m. But GM, General Motors, 8:30, UPS, 8:30, and Glassware, which is Corning Glassware, all three stocks coming out at 8:30 tomorrow. But UPS over here, as you guys can see, right around $152. Also a little bit stuck in a range. I'm expecting that range high or the range lows to come into play off the earnings report. This one has ATR of, I'm thinking, yeah, $2.87. I was going to say around $3. So $2.87 ATR coming in for UPS, and conference call at 8:30 once again. So I'm expecting that to be done by 9:30, and most likely some fun trades not allowed to, but some fun trades showing up for us to take advantage on UPS. Next stock, JetBlue, 32 cent ATR, pre-market earnings report, but conference call at 10 a.m. So basically like Pfizer, and because of both their conference calls being at 10 o'clock, I'll be a little bit more back off on these trading on these two stocks unless there's a clean setup before the conference call comes out. Maybe you get into that trade and kind of trim the trade for profits around 10 o'clock or so, and then around 10 o'clock, if the stock is going into my direction, maybe I can take the size that I had back more or more right back before the secondary moves comes in after the 10 o'clock over here on Pfizer or JetBlue. But for that, all that depends what the stock is doing in pre-market to begin with, so we'll wait for that one to play out. The stock once again ATR 32 cents. Next one, MPC, Marathon Petroleum, basically your energy sector over here with an ATR of $3.60. This conference call is at 11 a.m., a little bit later than Pfizer and JetBlue, so a little bit lazier, this one CEO from MPC, so be a little bit careful. This one is currently on a nice little trajectory to the upside, as you guys can see. I like the fact that Finviz kind of does the little bit of technical analysis for you, so it looks like we're in a little bit of a beautiful support area right around what, 142. Technical analysis, trend line being drawn, and looks like nice little breakout could come in if the earnings report comes out positive. So we'll be interested to see how MPC shows up with their report tomorrow, and then if their conference call, which is once again 11 a.m., will help their trade tomorrow or break their trading setup tomorrow. Last but not least, Glassware. We already told you that their conference call is at 8:30, so that should be not a problem. This one's ATR is 50 cents, so that one's a little boring maybe, and the volume also on the stock should be a little bit boring. No, not at all. 4 million shares on an average basis compared to today, which is 7 million, so it looks like a nice little ramp on volume. The stock has a little bit of support being formed. You can kind of draw maybe somewhere over here. Right, you see that little trend line coming in. Maybe you can even pull that trend line all the way back over here and kind of drop it right there. Drop that bad boy right there. No, we'll kind of put that one right there. So nice little trend coming in, support to the trend line chart. The stock is holding to the upside so far, even with this negative earnings report, even with this negative earnings report. So what does it do on a positive earnings report? Possibly absolutely launch to the north side. So I'll be interested to see if the stock can give us some trade opportunities, but the stock has clearly found some resistances before in the previous areas. We'll be interested to see if this 34, 36 area comes into play, at which point we might just have to short the stock. So pre-market, where does the stock move to will be the interesting question. The next few stocks that we have over here are basically our large cap stocks, such as Apple, AMD, Google, Microsoft. I don't think most of these stocks will do too much again. However, some of them did do something. Apple did drop to the downside, had a little bit more than an inside day, and then bounced right back up because the market was just buy, right? The market has constantly kept getting bought right back up. So Apple got right back up, bought back up to the north side, and only had a down 0.37 day, but Apple could have easily had, what is it, about a down 1% day to the downside overall. Whoever sold Apple here on the down move, fear move to the downside and chickened out, they are absolutely crying, and you know, they're so upset right now because the market closed on such a bullish note and Apple got bought right back up with the market. They are very upset for selling Apple today, especially if Apple pushes right back up to the north side tomorrow. They're going to be very, very upset. Hopefully they bought it back. But however, I'm not their financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor at all. So not my monkey, not my circus, not my problem. Let's go to Apple, which we are already. So let's look Apple. I don't think it's a trade at all until the stock reports earnings, which is on Thursday after hours. So just let the stock do whatever it's doing. We'll get amazing opportunities on Thursday, and then ever after Thursday we'll get even better opportunities on Apple, I promise you. Amazon belongs in the same boat, but it has taken out a nice little 52-week high and charging up to the north side before the earnings report even comes out. Meta is in that same boat too. Meta took out the $400 area very, very late in the day. We took out the 400, went into 401, 402s, and even 403 came into play. Wow, okay, went into 403s after our pretty close to the end of close over here on Meta after taking out 400. I think 400 got taken out at 3 o'clock or so. So looking for a Meta maybe for a trade, even though their earnings report, if I remember correctly, is tomorrow after hours. No, they report Thursday also. So Meta, Amazon, Apple, all of them report Thursday after hours. We have AMD, Microsoft, and Google reporting tomorrow after hours. So those are the ones that are maybe a little important. I think those do a little bit more muted moves, honestly, even though they are all moving around. They're all moving around at the moment. So not bad idea keeping an eye on these stocks. You know, all these large cap stocks are making some move. Tesla bouncing off of this 180 area. I was looking for a short through 180, still not coming up to play with that 180 area, but looks like we just have to get bullish as the market's getting bought back up. Tesla's kind of getting bought back up with them, and you can just maybe look for some breakouts back through this, whatever this 190 is, for a gap fill back in this area, possibly some opportunities over there on Tesla. Nvidia still new all-time highs, AMD still new all-time highs. So I mean, in the ranges, you can see how Nvidia is looking like it's getting ready to just break out of that zone and just launch to the north side. So more fun every single day on the tech basket, QQQ, SPY, and everything, especially going into this FOMC day, and tomorrow after hours coming out with AMD, Microsoft, Google. That could really help some of the tech sector over here going right before FOMC. The fact that QQQ, I mean, let me just show you how the QQQ looked today, right? The QQQ looked pretty damn boring until it took out a pretty important area, which was yesterday's high. This area was yesterday's high right here. Let me kind of put that marker down for you to kind of get a visual representation, right? And this area was yesterday's low. We barely pushed into yesterday's low. We showed good amount of buying into yesterday's low. It looked like we were trending to the downside, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower lows. And then eventually we kind of get bought back up. We get bought back up. We take out the opening range high. Okay, little activity, but we're still under yesterday's high. Right, we're still under yesterday's high, but little activity showing up. The stock is dislocating from today's VWAP, which is this orange line that you're seeing. It's dislocating from today's VWAP, and some buying is showing up, but no volume ramp at all. Later on, after taking out the day's opening range high, it pulls back to the day's opening range high and shows you buying. Look at those candle wicks on the 5-minute. Pulls down, boom, pops right back up. Pulls down, boom, pops right back up to the north side. Shows you buying off of the opening range high. This is basically opening range 5-minute, right? ORB 5, opening range 5-minute high gets now respected as support, and more buying shows up. Whoever was selling into the yesterday's high area, kind of thinking that they're front running that area, is now getting scared. They're possibly closing for a loss, and this stock is now showing some more buying. This gets a pop right into yesterday's high. You're seeing that yesterday's high move come in. Now, whoever shorted here, if they didn't close their trade yet, they're probably adding a little bit more to their trade over here, because they're thinking, okay, yeah, now the stock is going to reject, you know, now QQQ or the overall market is going to reject. No one's really buying into FOMC. No one's really, you know, getting active into FOMC, and no one's really getting active into Microsoft, Meta, Google, Alphabet, you know, all these stocks reporting this week. No one's going to do anything stupid like this. So more shorts load up over here. Once they see that they're not really pushing down, and anytime they push down, they're getting bought right back up, those shorts who are here and here, that's what brings in this big candle breakout to the north side. And you're seeing now new buyers step in on the breakout of yesterday's high. You're seeing a bunch of FOMO runners chasing this high to the north side, which brings in more volatility to the north side. Nice little rampant volume at the end of the day over here. It took what, from 3 o'clock till 4 o'clock for this nice breakout to come into play, with big volume to come into play. But if you compare the volume on the open, I mean, the market was pretty dead today. Right, you can see how every single day of that I'm pulling back, today has been the lowest volume. The last time we had volume, I'm basically pointing over here, it's on the 10th, right over here. The last time we had volume like that off the open, that low, was on the 10th of January, at which point the market actually did a decent move, but pretty low volume overall. Now you get the idea. So pushing right back into the all-time high over here on the QQQ, pushing right back into the all-time high on the SPY, pushing not so right back into, oh, is that a new all-time high on the SPY? Ooh, new all-time high on the SPY today, actually. The SPY did a better move than the QQQ? Really? Wow, okay, yeah, SPY did a lot better move than a QQQ technically. So shout out to the spies. Let's go. S&P 500. IWM now pushing into the 200 area that we were looking for. So all these stocks, all these ETFs, should I say, not stocks, ETFs pushing into worthy areas of keeping an eye out for. Some of the stocks are pushing into wonderful levels. So I'm always interested to see how this big tech stocks move into. Maybe I shouldn't say this because I'm going to sway your guys' mind or trades. I do think it's going to be a nothing burger, right? Unless there's just so many people who are willing to buy up before Microsoft and all these report, which doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, we saw the buying coming in today, and they bought it right back up. They pushed it to the north side, and they didn't let the market go down. Anyone who was thinking shorts today got burnt. Anyone who was thinking longs today got paid. So it will be interesting to see how the market moves tomorrow. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, the only answer is pre-market. Let's go see if any valuable pre-market catalysts come out tomorrow that can sway the market. Nothing really in the pre-market, but we got this 10 o'clock numbers, the JOLTS number coming out at 10, and the consumer confidence coming out at 10 that could possibly move the market. So keep an eye out for that 10 o'clock time period tomorrow. Is there any IPOs? Let's go check that one. However, that BTSG IPO was absolutely doggy poo-poo caca. That was a boring stock to trade. The other one was way better. Seagon was so much fun. Seagon was so much fun to watch and to trade. But yeah, that one's not good. This one's trash. This one's only 8 million. That one doesn't interest me at all. So moving on from that one. Nope, no other IPOs for this month, sadly. Anything for next month? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What do you do, buddy? 2 billion? Helsinki? Amir Sports? Oh shit, no way. These are your brands? You guys own this company? I know that company. You guys own Wilson? Yo. This is a big IPO team. Yo, IPO season's back. February 1st. Damn it. I hope they IPO before 12 o'clock because I have to go home at 12 o'clock. Damn, dude. This one looks like a good IPO coming up, team. Amir Sports, Amir Sports, whatever you want to call it. AMER, AS will be the ticker. They are IPOing on the 1st of February. Yeah, $2 billion IPO, and they own big companies. Their brands, I mean, that's a big brand. That's a big brand. What's Atomic? Do you guys know Atomic? It's like a skiing company, I guess. I've never really got into skiing that much, so I don't really know too much about Atomic. Peak Performance. What is that about? This one's about... Okay, this one's about skiing also. Looks pretty important though. I mean, all of these companies look big to me. The fact that they own Wilson is pretty big in itself. I mean, they make NFL balls. They make tennis balls that are basically used in two of the major sports. Who makes NFL balls? There you go. That's huge. Oh no, what did I just close? I forgot what I just closed. This one, oh yeah, this one's garbage. Close that. This one's actually huge. I'm interested for this one. Let me just quickly copy that. Open it here. Edit that picture. Open an image editor. Highlight that stock. Throw it in our Discord chat, and that's a good way for me to promote our Discord. So guys, we have an amazing Discord community. Make sure you guys check out our Discord. If you're not in it already, you are missing out. This one is for the IPO calendar chat section, so let me post it in there. We talk about stocks, games, a bunch of stuff in there all the time, so make sure you go check that one out. This one looks huge, humongous. I am very, very excited for this one. Okay, let's move on from this one. However, it's not till the 1st of February, and we got 1, 2, 3 dates. That's basically such a big day, such a big week, so much money to be made. Let's fucking make the best out of this week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kill it. Hope everyone smashes this week. Now, I got a little video over here for me to watch. You guys are more than welcome to watch with me. But we are basically done the stream for the day. We talked about all the stocks that we would be interested in. We talked about all the future events that are coming up, and we are up to date. This is a video over here that one of our members on the Discord posted about apparently Wall Street's biggest trades. So I'm interested to watch what this one's about. Let's take a look at it. Why is this in Hindi, dude? That's racist. But let's take a look at it. Becoming the legend of traders. Wall Street bets biggest trades. There exists some... Wait a minute. I gotta put the volume up here. I'm gonna put the volume down on my headphones so I don't go deaf. Let's go watch it.
Legend echoing through the corridors of time, whispered among the sands of ancient Egypt. A prophecy foretold that there will come the one that will rise above the masses, take the chance out of trading and make absolutely ungodly amounts of money. Throughout the years, many thought they were the chosen one, but all of them failed miserably, losing life savings and more. But there is one of them who has the power to wield the forbidden weapon.
The Arthur weapon,
options and make more than $20 million in less than a year. It is my honor to present to you a trader who rightfully so got a nickname of Nasdaq's #1 fan and goes by the name of Austerian18. This absolute legend made more than an $8 million or a 2,500% gain in just 2 months, and is up by more than $20 million or 5,000% since April 2023. But even before that, he was making some huge gains. Now, the most unusual part is that he made these ungodly gains by mostly buying 0-day sale expiry options, which is like trying to catch a falling knife while balancing on a unicycle. So let's go all the way back to his beginnings, and just maybe by the end of his journey we'll understand how he consistently makes money with what is usually regarded as just pure gambling. His journey starts 5 years ago when he YOLO'd into SPX 0-day sale expiry options. So yeah, he was playing...
This guy's smoking the market, what the fuck?
Now in that position he was up by $147,000 from about 100k. He didn't reveal what happened to that trade, but 10 months later he posted a 10x or 150k gain on 0-day sale expiry options on futures. Apparently he was inversing everyone on Wall Street bets and could have even been up by more, but he sold half of his position to lock in profits while they tripled the next day. And to make such a huge gain he only risked 11.2k. Obviously he didn't stop there, and just 2 months later he one-upped himself by turning $3,000 into $108,000 with 1-day till expiry Amazon call options.
Yo, hire this guy.
After that, he had a bull call spread on Amazon.
This guy's got crystal balls.
$1,000 into another $100,000, essentially making $208,000 from 12k in about 4 days. Now, the reason why he entered the trade was that he was breaking out of multi-month resistance.
Guy got crystal balls.
A couple weeks later, he was back with a bit smaller gain, but still a huge percentage gain. He was up by about 28k once again on 0-day sale expiry call options on ES futures. But he didn't close the position
paper
just
trades?
yet. In fact, he sold half before Trump's speech and
You have
held the
proof of
rest.
this guy
He
making
ended up
this
being
money?
up by 50k on a 4k position, so evidently not sleeping that night and staying up for 27 hours was worth it. Right after that, he bought some SPX weekly calls on which he made $147,000 a week later. And then for more than 2 years there was silence, until he came back with a nice gain of $105,000.
That's when he got lost, was after losses.
He apparently bought calls because the CEO said poor people can't afford burritos. No, but in all seriousness, his DD is purely based on watching them raise their prices, while the lines remain the same. Just a day later he posted yet another huge gain, this time on Microsoft calls and Amazon bull call spreads. And after another year of silence, that finally brings us to April 2023, when his
This guy's like doing his own research, like going into Chipotle lines and watching how long the lines are and shit. Like, how does he know the lines are still the same? Maybe their earnings report, like you can read in their earnings report the amount of people coming in, the foot traffic, not the foot traffic, but the amount of people buying and whatnot is still the same or not, even if the prices are going up.
This time he bet on the CPI report being very bullish. Aside from that, we finally got a look into his mind, as he said there is a chart showing returns on 0-day sale expiry options since they were added for every day, and 1% out of the money calls were actually positive on average. In the past couple of months you even had a pretty good chance of winning if you bought 0-day puts on pops and calls on dips. Now in just a week he did it again.
Honestly, Chipotle is still full every night by me? Damn, son. I don't have any Chipotles close by me.
Which is just an option strategy where you buy one call and sell a different call on the same asset, and that way you limit your losses and gains. Anyway, he turned about 13k into $120,000, as he honestly just believes that the market would go down unless something extraordinary would happen, like a default or a significant CPI miss. And if these gains weren't crazy enough, here things get absolutely mind-boggling. Just a day after the previous gain, he posted a pretty moderate gain.
Spank me harder, Daddy Jensen.
More than $500,000 in just a week. On about 30 Nasdaq calls, he turned 50k into $448,000.
I gotta go follow this guy.
And on some Nvidia calls, he turned 16k
Damn,
into
$22,000. Even though I slept in.
At the time, he thought we were in a bubble and said that he was probably going to sell his Nvidia stock before the earnings report. Now, if you don't remember, on that earnings report, the stock jumped up by 30% and has been going up ever since. Well, he actually didn't sell the position he just posted, even though it would expire at the end of the day. And his decision paid off massively, as his Nasdaq calls became worth $688,000 and his Nvidia calls $328,000. Now just let that sink in. He risked $75,000 and turned it into a bit more than $1 million, and he did all of that in just a week. Now most people would probably stop at this point and get out, especially when the earnings report for Nvidia was coming up next week. But as you should probably know by now, he isn't most people. So not only did he hold his Nvidia shares for the earnings report, but he also bought $33,000 worth.
I mean, it's just a bull market. He just was bullish as fuck. He got paid for it. That's all it is.
In just a day. The 33k of Nvidia calls turned into
bullish market. He put his money where his mouth is. He got paid for it.
$1,000, and on top of that, he had some Nasdaq calls on which he turned 34k into $242,000. Having that said,
follow the trend. It's that easy, guys. Exactly what Angry Buddha said. Follow the damn trend. It can't be harder than that.
Making $1 million in
all you have to do is follow the trend, and then you can be Papa Powell over here printing money.
That's exactly what he did. In fact, he even made a bit more, bringing his account to almost $6 million.
Jesus Christ,
most of his
buddy.
gains coming from 0-day sale expiring Nasdaq bull call spread. And at this point, I think it's quite obvious why he has a nickname Nasdaq's #1 fan. At the time, he said he'd quit when his portfolio would hit $10 million. But before we go any further, I should probably mention where he got his capital. Well, he saved
where he got
about
this money
$30K from working in college and had a full ride through school, including living expenses. So any money he made working was his to keep, and he used it
basically
to
his parents
a little more than
paid
10
for
years
everything.
ago. Well, after those 2 consecutive games,
basically,
2 weeks
I got a
break,
small loan for $10 million. Or was it $1 million loan from his parents? That's what Trump got, right?
As he turned about $75,000 into $800,000. On top of that, he turned 46k into $243,000 with PBR calls, 25k into $202,000 with Nvidia calls
Jesus,
and
dude.
$20k into $190,000 with Nvidia bull spread. Now,
20k to 200k, like back to back to back, printed.
Getting very close to his goal, but he decided to withdraw $1.7 million, securing some of the profit. Once again, 2 weeks went by until he returned with a new daily record, as he made
his account's at 8 mil and he's only betting like 30k. I like it. He's doing it in a smart way at least. He's not like full porting it like an idiot.
He once again made most of his money from Nasdaq bull call spread. But then after 2 weeks he broke his records and made $2,748,000.
Okay, he did go full port in some part.
Bringing his account value well above his initial goal. Needless to say, most of his gains came from Nasdaq bull spread, with one part of his most profitable spread going from 117k to $2.7 million.
7-figure trader,
and then
boys.
He went quiet for 7 months. What did he do in those 7 months? Well, he made an $8 million or a 2,500% gain in just 2 months and got his account to more than $20 million. So yeah, after gaining 3,000% last year and reaching $12 million by August, he withdrew his money, stopped trading and split the money into dividend stocks, some real estate, and half of it went to pay estimated taxes to the IRS. But after living his full of adrenaline life for so long, he couldn't just simply stop. He naturally got bored, so he restarted trading in November with about 350k he had left.
He came back. He came back.
He hit around $2 million by the end of the year
and quadrupled
it since the new year because he
this
simply
guy.
wanted to prove it wasn't just a
This
fluke. Most of the gains
guy.
obviously came from 0-day still expiry options on Nasdaq index. He
This
identified
guy
a trade that
came
worked and
back.
traded it relentlessly
And he
with
smashed
some
it
truly degenerate
again.
positions like 300k and 0-day still expiry options. As for his trading strategy, here is what I found. In the past few weeks, 10-year rate futures have often led the market by about 5 to 10 minutes. In addition, before Wednesday we had one long chain of early moves down into the end of the day rally. So he's been literally just trading that pattern. That trade is done though, especially after today. He'll have to wait and try to identify a new pattern and experiment and see if it works.
I'm sure that pattern comes back into play again this year. So I'm sure he will if he, based on what I just read right there, if he was basically just trading the spot market, and according to him the spot market is the bond market, he was watching the bond market move, and then basically the markets kind of follow behind the bond market move, and when he sees that, he's just full porting it long. I'm guessing he doesn't have a way to go short because he's just going long, or maybe that's just the bull market or whatever the hell it is. I'm sure he'll be able to do it once the rates start getting cut and he can just start doing it on the put side. So I think he'll be able to do it again if this is all legitimate and this is all legit money and all real. I think he will be able to pull that off again, especially once the rates start getting cut and the bond numbers start moving again, and then the market starts moving again. It's very likely that will help him out again.
Day trades. He tries to identify short-term market patterns and trades it till it fails. Could be anything from one specific stock that tends to lead to a string of gap fills and so on. Now with 0-day still expiry options, timing is crucial. He doesn't often get it right. Usually it takes him a couple of attempts, but it doesn't matter as much when the trade returns 10x. Specifically,
damn right, when the R to R is 10 times, it takes
the day and
10 stocks to ruin your one day or one trade.
This isn't some axiomatic truth. In December, the opposite was true. Markets shift all the time.
That's not right. It takes 5 stocks to ruin
short-term tradable patterns. Having that said, he thinks chasing consistent profits on a daily or a weekly basis is for hedge funds and scammers. If you give him 2 good weeks of trades per year, he's happy. And if you want to see how this trader made $2.5 million from 51k without options, click on the video just popped up. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions,
Stock Voyage
below,
or Stock Voyage if you're not trying to be fancy. 954 subscribers. Maybe we should give him a subscribe. But you know, we are dying for subs ourselves, chat. You know, what the hell? This is me. Pause that. But we are dying for subs ourselves, chat, over here. So help your boy out. We're so damn close to hitting that 1K. We're so close to hitting that 1K. 125-ish or so. The last time I checked, it was at 875. Let your friends know, let your family know that your boy TraderPrad is on YouTube once again on his own private channel. Not private, his own separate channel. So I would love for you guys to throw that name out there. Get this channel to 1,000 subscribers and eventually maybe 1 million subscribers. We'll have a lot of fun over there too. Obviously, we're done everything we want to do today, ladies and gentlemen. I have completed all my tasks. However, I need to go do other tasks, which is do my chores at home. So I'm going to head out to go do that. I wish you guys all a wonderful rest of your night, whatever it is that you have planned, and even better trading day tomorrow. Market might get exciting, especially with how we closed today. So let's see if some of those opportunities can play out the way we planned and put some money in the pocket for us so we can go laughing to the bank. Ha 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 ha. Something that I have to do real quick. Let me just load this one up. Okay, we don't even have to. It's ready right here. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, 8 o'clock. You know where all the fun links are right down below. All the Instagram, social media, Twitter, Discord links, Patreon, Cameo, all those links right down below, along with my affiliate sponsors, who I do have to shout out. So go check out Benzinga, go check out TraderSync, and go check out Trade Ideas. All the links and the codes to the discounts down below in the description. If you feel like clicking on them, please do so. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It will mean the world to me. I actually noticed that comments on the video offline help with the YouTube algorithm, because the two offline videos that I posted recently have a lot more comments than the other offline videos, and those videos are getting pushed out more. So comments help big time. So if you guys can do me a favor, just post a comment or two in the offline section, not on in the live chat. That would help me out too. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, I understand. But anyone who is helping me out on the YouTube algorithms, you guys mean the world to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and support. Once again, see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Ciao. Good night, fellas.
You are not like other carbon-based life forms. You put the value of all life above your own.
It's how things should be. It's how they could be.
I could not agree more. The world can be one together. Cosmos without hatred. Stars like diamonds in your eyes. The ground can be space, 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 space. With feet marching towards a peaceful sky. All the moon men want things their way, but we make sure they see the sun. Goodbye, moon man. You say goodbye.